Hey everyone, this is Michael for Spirit Comics. Welcome back to my channel. Now this is going to be my review of the Mighty Mascots #1 of a 3-issue limited series. If you like this type of content, please do drop a like and also comment, and please share this video with others, and don't forget to subscribe. Now this was a joy to read. It really was. I mean, I could tell just by the cover that this was going to be fun. And it was. Alright. Now we open up in a setting called Bottle Jack City. Right off, I can tell this is going to be fun. Alright, these two bad guys are talking to each other. It says, "Are you sure this is where we're supposed to go?" "Yes." "A supermarket?" "I double checked with Dr. Baneful. This is where she wants the first test, the first field test." Now right there, Dr. Baneful, I'm already thinking of Batman's enemy called Bane. And that is justified, because they're supposed to find the sprinkler system to do something. See, what they do is, right here, if you can see this emergency water tank, they pour this stuff into the emergency water tank, and they somehow set off the sprinkler system. When they do, everybody is coated with this chemical that turns them into these weird monsters. And I do believe that Bane had a similar type of chemical that he wanted to use against Batman, or maybe it was the Joker, I can't remember. And across the page, there's somebody reporting on this, and he gets hit by this creature when he says, "And this may be the work of a seriously deranged individual." Deranged I may be, but I'm certainly not an individual. And the monster takes the microphone, introduces himself as Muck Mouth, and they start chanting, "We make holes in everything." "There's hundreds of them! Somebody call the National Guard! Is there anyone who can stop these monsters? Da-da-da-da!" And right off, this character says, "Mascots Unleashed!" And here it says, "Born from the ashes of a disastrous 3D printing accident, 8 living advertisements have banded together to right the wrongs of this world, led by a former child star. These unlikely heroes are freaks to some, but you will know them as Mighty Mascots." And already I can tell what this is a nod to. Mascots Unleashed! That's a nod to the Avengers, because the Avengers have the battle cry, "Avengers Assemble!" And this is, it says Mascot Bowl Call. Sort of like the Avengers roll call. Captain Horatio Honeyflakes, Boxer Bear, Mondo Martian, Brewster McPunch, Boom, Smack, Whack, Sea Rat, and Professor Manny Coleman. This is the only one with a somewhat normal name. Apparently, the pirate is the leader of them. And that's Captain Honeyflakes. I could not help but just laugh as I read this, because it says, "Have a taste of Captain Honeyflakes' patented hand cannons. Tally ho! Sea Rat, go!" It's just funny. Then calls out Boxer Bear. We need the hero. We need the hero thinned out. And so Boxer Bear is up. And this reminds me of the 1960s Batman show. If you ever watched that, the different words that would fly across the screen. Slam! Pow! Crack! Ba-boom! It's just, I swear I think that's a nod to the 1960s Batman show. It says, "Brewster, you're up. Protect the people from these scum biscuits." Oh, snap! And this is hilarious right there. When Brewster says, "You aren't messing with a soft drink." Oh, I swear. It had me laughing from page to page. And the artwork is just fun to look at as well. I swear this just may be my favorite Alterna title that I've read as of yet. And here is another nod to someone else. This is a nod to the 1980s. They have these, they brought in these heavy-duty robots, which I can only guess is a, parody of the Transformers. When this one says, "It's about time you brought in the A-Team Honeyflakes." I was actually watching the A-Team earlier today. And I guess these robots are, super powerful. Because they're able to band together and take care of the problem. But not all on their own. And this also reminds me of the Avengers, when Captain Honeyflakes says, "Mascots, mobilize!" And this character, let me see, what was his name again? Let's see here. Okay. Yeah. Mondo Martian. That's Mondo Martian. This one, Mondo Martian, reminds me of the Martian Manhunter from the Justice League. And not just because he has the name the title Martian in his name, but because in some weird way he kind of looks like the Martian Manhunter, because he's got green skin, a sort of weird shaped head, And they keep fighting the bad guys. Oh, also, if you don't know about this, I didn't know about this till I read this earlier. Alterna Comics now has a page where they list every title that's coming out in every month. I think that's pretty cool. Then this Mondo Martian gets down to examining some stuff, and he's kind of cocky, you know, almost like Martian Manhunter is, but maybe not as bad. And they're trying to figure out that Muck Mouth. And back at the scene, I believe those 2 or 3 robots joined together to create another robot, because Flake says, "Okay, let's finish this. Time to bring out Mega Crunch." If that doesn't sound like a cereal, then I don't know what it sounds like. Vitamins, minerals, taste, combined for ultimate satisfaction. This makes me feel like it's, you know, the classic Saturday mornings all over again. Wrench Wrecker. I mean, this is just funny, and the expression on the robot's face is hilarious. And I love this down here where the Martian is just going crazy. Oh, and yes, here's a nod to the 1990s. If you don't know, back in the 1990s, there was a magazine put out called Wizard that was about everything which had to do with comic books. And if you can see it right there, that is a Wizard magazine, because it says Wizard across the top. And this comic book is just filled with nostalgia. And I love it. I'm hoping that after the 3 issues are finished, that he continues making these stories. Oh, and this part down here, it just cracked me up. You know, it's Mondo Martian, who apparently is a super intelligent, says, "What? My superior Martian brain does not make mistakes. There must be an unforeseen variable at work here." It's like the writer was, you know, he was giving nod to, you know, stuff that had come before, and he was also just poking fun at stuff as well. Oh, and then toward the end here, a new team is introduced. Crown. Behold the power of the brush. The Crown Team. Now this reminds me of the Fantastic Four. Even though there's 5 of them, it reminds me of the Fantastic Four. I'm willing to bet that the writer has been reading comic books for a very long time, and that he's been a fan of both DC and Marvel. And this one says, that's right, Muck Mouth. We are here to stop you and your new pals from decaying everything. Oh, classic dialogue. I love it. And for that, you must all be cleansed. Oh, Mondo, what have you done? So apparently this guy is not entirely good, I'm guessing. But this is just hilarious. And I'm so glad that I got it. You know, some comic books, it takes me 15 minutes to read because I want to take my time. This one took me probably less than 5 minutes because it kept me on the edge of my seat. I wanted to find out what was happening next. And I was laughing so much. I was enjoying myself so much. And, you know, this Mighty Mascots might be a parody of the Justice League. Because if you see here, 100% justice. It's written by Keith Gleason. And I'm sure he's on Twitter. I'm going to have to look him up. Because this is really good. I highly recommend Mighty Mascots #1. And I have issues 2 and 3. I just haven't gotten to them yet. But I will. And this is from Alterna Comics. The rising new comic book company in the industry. They've been around for 10 years, but not many people have paid them a lot of attention, I think. But now they're getting more attention, and they're getting more product out to the people. So I hope you enjoyed this comic book review, and I know it was mainly me just laughing most of the time, but how could I not laugh at this? Because it was funny. It is funny. I like a comic book that makes me smile, that makes me laugh, that makes me think of better days. If you have any comments, just leave them below. And please do subscribe, like this video, and share it with others. I'm Michael for Spirit Comics, and this has been my review of Mighty Mascots #1 on Alterna Comics.